think he's an incredible candidate. I think he's exactly what coaches or owners are looking for. He's been around. He's been in charge. He commands the whole team with his leadership. He's got great background. Yeah, I say that because I know he's been through our program for enough years that I know that he's got his philosophy in order. He's got his approach and how he would do it because we've worked on all that stuff, and so he's ready to go. We haven't talked about it this time around yet, but we've talked about it in the past, and I did hear that like yesterday or something like that, that maybe there's something up.
What if I told you that a 73-year-old coach with a Super Bowl ring might just be the answer to a franchise that's been lost in mediocrity for over 2 decades? Sounds crazy, right? But that's exactly what the Las Vegas Raiders are hoping for with Pete Carroll's surprising hire. Tom Brady, the Raiders' minority owner, might even owe Carroll a little something after that unforgettable Super Bowl 49 decision. The big question is, can Pete's legendary coaching style and boundless energy really turn the Raiders around? Or is this just another gamble in the ongoing saga of NFL rebuilds? Stick with me, because we're diving into why this could be the start of something big or the beginning of another disappointment. Before diving into how Pete Carroll could change the fate of the Raiders, let's take a look at why he's earned the respect he has. His career is a testament to resilience, innovation, and unmatched energy, traits that make him a force to be reckoned with no matter the age. Pete's coaching journey began in the NFL with the Jets and Patriots, but it was at USC that he really made his mark. After taking over a floundering program, he turned it into a powerhouse, leading them to a national championship and creating a legacy of dominance. Then came his time with the Seattle Seahawks. Carroll built a team that didn't just compete, but thrived, winning a Super Bowl in 2013 and making another appearance in 2014. His trademark was a tough, fast defense, the Legion of Boom, that shut down some of the league's best offenses. And let's not forget his ability to connect with players, bringing out their best through both discipline and trust. Now, at 73, he's still a force on the sidelines, jumping around with the enthusiasm of someone half his age. This energy and passion for the game is exactly what the Raiders need after a string of underperforming seasons. Carroll's experience coaching a variety of top-tier programs gives him an unmatched advantage as he steps into the chaos of the AFC West. But the question remains, is he ready for the challenge of taking on a new team in a division with powerhouses like the Chiefs, Chargers, and Broncos? Time will tell, but if anyone can do it, Pete Carroll has the pedigree to make it happen. The Las Vegas Raiders are at a critical juncture in their franchise's history. After years of ups and downs, the Raiders find themselves struggling to find stability, particularly at the quarterback position and with consistent leadership. Here's a closer look at where the team stands. Quarterback uncertainty. The Raiders' most glaring issue is the lack of a solid, long-term quarterback. Despite high expectations for Derek Carr, the team has failed to secure any true playoff success under his leadership. After parting ways with Carr, the Raiders are now in a search for a new face to lead the offense. This year's draft class isn't considered as strong as previous years, so their decision-making here will be pivotal. Will they go for a veteran quarterback who can contribute immediately, or gamble on a rookie with high potential? This decision could determine the direction of the team for the next several years. Coaching instability. The Raiders have had a revolving door of head coaches in recent years, from John Gruden's controversial resignation to Rich Bisaccia's interim tenure, and then Josh McDaniels' underwhelming stint. The team has lacked the leadership stability required to build a consistent winner. This kind of turnover can be incredibly destabilizing for players who are left adjusting to new systems and philosophies every couple of years. Talent on the roster. While the Raiders have some key talent on both sides of the ball, including standout defensive end Max Crosby and emerging offensive star Davante Adams, they have yet to put together a well-rounded, cohesive team. The defense, while featuring some strong individual players, lacks the overall consistency needed to make a playoff run. On offense, despite the presence of playmakers, there has been a struggle to execute on a consistent basis, especially in high-pressure moments. Tough division. The Raiders reside in the AFC West, arguably the toughest division in the NFL, with teams like the Kansas City Chiefs, led by Patrick Mahomes, the Denver Broncos, with a revamped coaching staff and high expectations, and the Los Angeles Chargers, who boast a talented roster. The competition is fierce. The Raiders' ability to compete within this division division will require them to make significant upgrades to both their roster and coaching staff. Ownership and management confusion. The ownership structure has added another layer of uncertainty. While Mark Davis is the majority owner, Tom Brady recently came on as a minority owner and has reportedly had a significant influence on decisions. However, Brady's new role as a team owner conflicts with his ongoing business ventures, so it remains to be seen how hands-on he will be. This lack of clear and unified direction can create confusion in management, further hampering the team's ability to build a long-term strategy. Cultural shift needed. For years, the Raiders have been trying to reclaim their identity as a tough, gritty team that can dominate opponents. However, inconsistency on both sides of the ball and a lack of leadership have prevented the franchise from building a winning culture. There's a need for a coaching staff that can instill discipline and confidence in the team while fostering the kind of mindset that makes the Raiders a feared team once again. The Raiders' situation is complicated. There's talent on the roster, but the pieces aren't fitting together in the right way. They're in desperate need of leadership to bring everything together, and that's where someone like Pete Carroll could make a difference. The next few seasons will be crucial in determining whether the Raiders can rebuild, find their quarterback, and finally compete at the highest levels again. The Raiders' journey to relevance and competitiveness is hindered significantly by the strength of their division, the AFC West. This division is one of the most competitive in the NFL, with each team having a strong core and high expectations for the future. Here's a breakdown of the challenges the Raiders will face from each divisional rival. 1. Kansas City Chiefs, the reigning kings of the AFC West. The Chiefs, led by Patrick Mahomes, are not only the reigning AFC West champions, but they've established themselves as one of the NFL's most dominant franchises over the past decade. With Andy Reid still at the helm, they've become the standard of excellence in the AFC. The combination of Mahomes' elite playmaking ability, a high-powered offense, and a solid defense makes the Chiefs incredibly difficult to beat. The Raiders are at a significant disadvantage when facing the Chiefs, as Kansas City has consistently proven they can perform on the biggest stages, including winning 2 Super Bowls in the past 4 seasons. Key challenge for the Raiders, outdueling Mahomes and Reid and staying competitive in a division where the Chiefs are consistently 12-14 win contenders. 2. Denver Broncos, a team in transition. While the Broncos have faced their share of struggles in recent seasons, the hiring of Sean Payton as their head coach has brought a new level of optimism to the franchise. With Russell Wilson under center and a revamped coaching staff, the Broncos are hoping to return to their past glory. Payton is known for his ability to develop offenses, and with Wilson's experience and talent, the Broncos may quickly become a competitive force in the AFC West. Key challenge for the Raiders, competing with a revitalized Broncos squad that could emerge as a major contender if Payton can get the best out of Wilson and his roster. 3. Los Angeles Chargers, a talented but inconsistent rival. The Chargers, led by young quarterback Justin Herbert, have one of the most talented rosters in the AFC on offense. The Chargers are loaded with playmakers, including wide receiver Keenan Allen, running back Austin Eckler, and a deep group of weapons for Herbert to target. On defense, they have players like Joey Bosa and Derwin James, who can wreak havoc. However, despite their talent, the Chargers have struggled with consistency and coaching decisions under Brandon Staley, which has kept them from reaching their full potential. Key challenge for the Raiders, facing a roster with so much talent while having to navigate the Chargers' high-scoring offense and aggressive defense. The key for the Raiders will be neutralizing Herbert and finding a way to contain the playmakers. The AFC West demanding nature, with each team having a top-tier quarterback, highly capable coaching staffs, and plenty of talent. The AFC West is stacked. Every game within the division is crucial, as the Raiders need to both compete against strong teams and keep pace with the Chiefs, who have set an extraordinarily high bar. The division itself is a gauntlet, and every year teams within it seem to raise their level of play. Key challenge for the Raiders, staying competitive in a division where playoff spots are often won or lost based on intra-division records. Every matchup within the AFC West could be the difference between making the postseason or being left out. The Raiders' journey to becoming a consistent contender will require a long-term rebuild. While Pete Carroll's experience and leadership will be invaluable, success won't come overnight. The team needs to address key roster holes, especially at quarterback, and develop young talent to build a competitive foundation. With a strong culture and Carroll's guidance, the Raiders have the potential to turn things around, but it will take time, strategic moves, and patience from both the franchise and the fans. The goal is to establish stability and consistency, something the Raiders have lacked for far too long. Pete Carroll's appointment as head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders marks the beginning of a new chapter for a franchise that has long struggled to regain its former glory. With over 5 decades of coaching experience, Carroll brings not only a winning pedigree, but also a distinct leadership style that could reshape the Raiders' culture and future. His track record of turning around underperforming teams, developing young talent, and building a competitive foundation gives hope to a fan base desperate for sustained success. However, while the potential is undeniable, the road ahead for the Raiders will not be easy. The AFC West is one of the league's most challenging divisions, and the Raiders will need to make key decisions on both offense and defense, particularly at the quarterback position. The rebuilding process will take time, and patience will be essential, not just from the fans, but also from the ownership and front office. But with Pete Carroll leading the charge, the Raiders have a coach who understands what it takes to build a long-term winner. By cultivating a winning mindset, developing young talent, and making strategic roster moves, the team can transform into a playoff contender once again. If all goes according to plan, this could very well be the beginning of a new era for the Raiders, a chapter where the silver and black are once again relevant in the race for a Super Bowl. The key, though, will be patience. This journey won't be quick, but if Pete Carroll's history is any indicator, it could very well lead to greatness. As the team embarks on this challenging rebuild, fans and the organization alike will be hoping that this time, with a coach like Carroll at the helm, the Raiders can finally find the consistency and success that has eluded them for the past 2 decades. The road ahead is uncertain, but one thing is clear. Under Pete Carroll, the Raiders have a leader capable of bringing them back into the competitive fold.